Mattel, good morning, and how are you, faithful? Captain Niner coming to you with the Captain and Coffee Morning Report for March 18th, 2023. All right, so we had some news that popped in overnight, so let's go ahead and get into it. Why don't we? We have got the 49ers signing special teams ace Syria Neal on a 2-year deal per Cameron Wolf. I like it. I know a lot of people are probably going to look at this morning and be like, what the hell is this? This is stupid, blah, blah, blah. I like this signing. Why? Because I know me, I'm one of quite a bit of people who have been screaming and yelling for the last 2 to 3 years in that we need to do something to where our special teams is not losing us games. The special teams for the 49ers, for the most part, has basically been don't fuck up. Don't lose the game for us. Well, I'm tired of it being set up where it's just don't lose the game for us. I want to see special teams win us games. I want to bring back the Tony Montana squad. I want to see us hyped when special teams come out there. Now, I know that still means with special teams that there is the issue of Jake Moody, and I understand that. I've also come to the conclusion that, you know what, I also think that's partly the organizational's fault and partly Moody's fault for what happened last year. In that I think he came back way too early from his ankle injury, and they pushed him. And it was unnecessarily pushed when the guys who were out there playing for him were kicking pretty good. But because he's a third-round draft pick and there's so many high expectations on him and the organization probably pushed himself to come back from that injury a lot sooner. Because up until that point, before he got hurt, he only missed one field goal all year. So he was having a good year up until that point. So, again, I like this signing of Syria Neal. I know a lot of people are just freaking out everywhere, wondering what's going on. And I get it. I 100% get it in the fact that we don't know exactly how this team is going to look come there. But at the very least, the special teams on this team is going to be better next year. Again, Moody's still an outlier with that whole situation, but we are going to be playing good special teams next year. Look at all the guys that we're picking up. Have been special teams aces. They specialize. That's what they do for the most part. Yes, this Syria Neal is also a defensive back and has played some safety, but that's not what he knew. He is one of those lunch pail kind of guys. He's going to come to the game. He's going to do all the dirty work on special teams and stuff like that. Again, I want to see this team win because of special teams, not just lose a game because special teams. You know, the idea of let's just not mess it up, to me, makes it seem like you're going to mess it up. There's a better chance of it. Put some effort into it so that you're actually good at it. And I see that when we're getting good at special teams this year. And another thing I want to say, what goes along with this, everybody freaking out, just relax. We don't know exactly how this team is going to look. Well, you can kind of figure it out. We lost Jordan Mason the other day. Even I freaked out a little bit about it because of the fact of how much I liked him. But that was also me getting into my feels a little bit because I really like Jordan Mason both as as a player and as a person, looking at his backstory and everything like that. That said, this is a deep running back draft. We were going to be able to draft somebody in the fifth, sixth, seventh, really Kyle Shanahan, really the third round, in order to get a decent running back on this team again. I would like Bashil Tootin out of Virginia Tech. I think it's someone we can get later in there. The guy from Arizona, I believe, is another good one. Obviously, the two guys from Ohio State are both going to be optional again. Tons, and we haven't even talked about Ashante Gente, Scatterboo, and some of the other top tier running backs that are coming into this draft again. This draft is not just about defensive ends and defensive tackles. The running backs from this class are also going to be very good. So I mean, we're probably going to see at least 3, maybe 4 defensive linemen in this draft. I would not be surprised, honestly. If you came up to me in 11 picks and every other one was a defensive lineman, whether edge or D tackle, I wouldn't be too bad, honestly. That gives us a lot of young, hungry players in that position. If you look across the defenses that are doing the best are teams that have young defensive line. Why? Because they're hungry. They got more energy, more upside to them. They got everything, more speed, everything. So let's just pump the brakes on everybody freaking out. And I hate to say it, let's take listen to what Aaron Rodgers says in RELAX. Relax. Now that said, if we draft a kicker in the third, fourth round to next come the draft time, yeah, you know what? Relaxing time is over, and it's time to just freak the fuck out. But until then, again, you want a young team. Younger teams seem to win better, more than your older vet teams do this type of season. Yes, a mixture, but a defensive line, young, fast, hungry guys. That's what we're going to get. You have got some guys who aren't necessarily going to be all pros or anything like that right now. That said, we get some young guys to start pushing them, and they can start, and then those vets come in to finish games off and stuff like that. We're fine. Again, everybody, just relax. Now, we can start freaking out after the draft. Again, let's see how the draft pans out. Let's see how we're going to get some more special teams, guys. I'm telling you, this look special, at least in coverages. We'll see how the game goes. Again, so Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. So later on today on Niner Faithful Radio, you'll have me, you'll have TJ. We'll be going over something. It's only 5 o'clock in the morning, so he hasn't sent over the itinerary for what we're talking about today. But most likely, it's the same stuff. We're going to be looking at stuff going towards the draft, the signings, something. We've talked to TJ over the weekend, so we'll get his thoughts on Juice and Mason, and obviously the signing with Syrian Deal here. And until then, faithful, y'all keep Tuesday's butt. Papa Tai Tell One love.